Hey you guys, it's me Kiana coming at you, and I tried to make sure that I can do this video without distraction. So Nene and the baby, they're outside. Daddy's at his little part-time job. So I'm in the house by myself right now, and I wanted to take this time out because it is a very serious issue. It is a issue that I think that will it will help a lot of people. It will also bring a lot of attention to things. It also will give some inspiration to others that think they maybe can't. And that's the purpose of this video. It's not to tell you what to do. It's not to cause any controversy, because I know many people probably ran over just simply because of the title. And that's not the purpose for any controversy, or like I said, to tell you what to do. With this video, the purpose of this video is just basically to let you guys know what I did, and hopefully in seeing some of the things that I did, then it can inspire you, or it can help you out in some way. And if for nothing more, it can give you some hope on that you can do it, and you can make it, and you just have to believe and to walk out on faith, because the definition of faith is to believe in that we of which we can't see. So we have to remember the actual definition of faith and to apply it in our lives. So with that being said, as you can see in the title, of course it is regarding income tax. Now, we all know that so many of us get excited when it's income tax time. For us business owners, whether you're a small business, a mid-sized business, or a large business, most times if you're out of the time frame of the first, depending on what your state says, but the first 2 or 3 years you could be tax exempt. Okay, when you're out of that time frame, you're going to have to pay taxes, and you're going to have to pay taxes on your reported income. And that is the income that you report to the state. Now, some people lie about their reported income for whatever reasons. Some people tell the truth. Some people over exaggerate. A lot of people often they tell the truth because if they plan on buying property or whatever like that, that income is going, or that tax return is going to, or that year to date is going to count towards a pattern of your income, because that's what they look for whenever you're trying to buy a vehicle or buy maybe additional items for your business, and you're trying to get credit extended for that, or if you're trying to buy property or a home or whatever. Now, when you own your own business, after you're out of the tax exempt loop or years, it's best for one, you pay your taxes quarterly. Now, the reason why that I found that that's best is because, and a lot of these things I'm going to tell you guys are trial and error, things that I've had to find out for myself, because it seems like people, when they have certain things, when they're pursuing certain things and they're successful at it, they never want to reveal the information. I don't know why, because all of us usually, most of us are in different states. So me sharing this information is not going to hinder my business. Me sharing this information is not going to get in the way of my business growing. You're in another state. How is that? So, and it's so much, the American consumers spend so much, to be honest. It's so much money for all of us out here to make that you don't have to be selfish with things that you've learned, or things that you have stumbled upon. You don't have to be. In fact, I believe, this is my beliefs, that God blesses us when we are a blessing to others, and when we, show some of the things that we've been through, or some of the things that we've learned. I think that that's what we're supposed to do. So, with saying all that, like I said about the quarterly, what you could do is pay your taxes quarterly based upon your reported income. And the reason why I found that that's best is because then I don't have to once a year kick out a whole bunch of money and paying my taxes, and quarterly it seems like it's less, even though it doesn't wind up being less. Really, it doesn't. What winds up being is that I don't have to pay a whole huge lump sum. Let's say example, say if I have to at the end of the year pay 8,000 in taxes. This is just hypothetically. If I paid it quarterly, I would be able to pay it, say, 2,000 4 times a year, or 2,500 3 times a year, or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? So I would feel it more if I had to pay 8,000 at, say, February, than versus paying quarterly only 2,500. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So that's lesson number 1. Look into paying your taxes quarterly if you own a business. Now, starting a business, that's what I want to get into. How did I actually start any business I've been into, or I've had, since I've been 20 years old, and now I'm almost 35? How was I able to do that? A, not being rich, never proclaiming to be. B, still having to, in the midst of wanting to start a business, had to pay the rent where I live, had to pay BG&E, which is gas and electric, had to get shoes and clothes for myself, children, and all that kind of stuff. How was I able to do it? As you all know, many, many years ago, I actually owned a home daycare and then branched off into owning a small center. Okay? How was I able to do that, you guys? Besides, I did have an ex-husband. He did have a good job. We opened up my daycare first. Then we opened up his computer repair shop. Okay? But we was able to do it then, and I'm also was able to do it now when I got out of the homeless shelter, Chuck and I. The reason why is because I have always made my income taxes work for me. Now, when I was getting income taxes, when I was getting what they call earned income credit, when I was in the low tax bracket, the low income level to qualify for earned income credit for my household size, what I did was, when everybody else would run out and buy all kinds of items and splurge, yes, I splurged. Let me repeat it, so it's not no discrepancy, so it wouldn't be nobody saying that I'm saying don't go out and buy anything. Yes, I did my little splurges. But what I did was, I said to myself, hey, if the state is going to give me $5,000, because the reality is earned income credit is exactly that. It's a credit that you receive, but not necessarily what you put into the system. And the reason why I know that as to be true is because if it says on your state return or your federal, on your W-2, say it says that you get back $900. But when it's all said and done, you guys, you get back $9,000. Okay, so, and say your income was only $25,000 for that year. So if you're getting back $9,000, your return says that you're getting back, say, $800 or $900. You're getting back, in all naturality, you're getting back almost half of what you made for the entire year anyway. Okay, so what I did was, I was smart about it. Did my little splurges. Now we're using $9,000 as an example, right? Okay. So I did my little splurges. Say I splurged with like $2,000. What I said was, you know what? I'm gonna make this money work for me. I'm gonna make sure that, so I don't have to just splurge once a year. I'm gonna make sure that I spend my money wisely as far as trying to invest in a business that I know more than likely, after doing my research and asking around and seeing if it's a need for my business in my community, I'm gonna make that money work for me so that I can have money all year long. Because see, once that money is gone, it's gone. You're back to square one. And the poverty way of thinking, you guys, and the poverty mindset is, when we get money, and this is just reality, whether we want to admit it or not, when we have went without so long, when we do get money, we don't know how to react to it. We don't know how to handle it. We don't know how to make the wisest decisions. Why? Because we have went without it so long that we go overboard when we do get it. Are you understanding what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't want to admit this, and some may admit it and some may not. But I'm just telling you what I've noticed, and in fact, what I've done in my own life. Okay? So, what I'm saying is that make that income tax money work for you. Using the example of 9 grand. Splurge with 2,500, 3 grand. But invest in a business that has very little overhead. Now, this is for those who want to invest in a business, who want to start a business. You don't necessarily need a grant. You don't necessarily need a business partner per se. Invest in something, A, that has very little overhead. B, you can use your resources like couponing, going to thrift stores, all these kind of things to try to build your business. C, investigate and learn before you start. I would have done this if I planned on doing this out of my income taxes. As for me, September, October, I would have been checking it out. I would have been finding out if it's a need for it in my community. I would have been checking out places that I can get things for my business, whether it's computers or whatever is needed, with very little money. I would have been doing that October. So if you haven't and you plan on opening up a business, start today. Tomorrow morning, get on your grind. Okay? This will give you money not just once a year, but this will give you money all year long. Now, some say, what if I do this and it doesn't make any money? Okay, what if you buy a whole bunch of clothes and they rip? What if you buy a whole bunch of clothes and they shrink because you washed them in cold water or hot water or whatever? Think about it. Which one would you feel better about doing? Would you feel better about knowing that you tried and that you gave it your all, and you don't have to second guess and say, what if I would have done that, or could I have made it doing that? Or would you feel better buying a whole bunch of items that you could have done without? And in hindsight, looking back, really, which one would really make you feel, you know what, I gave it my all. I did the best I could. The other end of the spectrum is, what if you make it? What if it becomes successful? I started our transportation service, you guys, with one 15-passenger van. I said, you know what? It's always going to be people that love somebody in jail. Let's keep it real, y'all. It's always going to be a woman that's always going to care about that brother in jail. It's always going to be a mother that wants to visit her son in jail. It's always going to be a child that wants to see their father or mother in jail. So, why don't I be the person to take them? Why don't I understand that the Bible says, when I was without clothes, you clothed me. When I was in jail and in prison, you visited me. Think about it. That's a business that's never going to go under. Never. Why? Because it's always going to be somebody that wants to see that loved one. So I said, you know what? Let me look around for a 15-passenger van that works properly, that I can tweak and add little stuff. And we put 6 TVs in the van, and we had everything different that set us apart from all the other transportation services that I know that's offered in my state. Okay? The other transportation services, they had raggedy vans. It was an old smelly guy that, he was from the hood, and he picked up all the girls, and they had chicken boxes in the back and eating and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to be the total opposite of that. So what I did was, we got the van. We made sure it was nice. It wasn't beat up whatsoever. It was new. We made sure we put 6 TVs in it. We made sure we had every kind of DVD. We had personal earphones. We had every kind of movie, every kind of CD, DVD that people would want to watch. We made sure we had car seats so it wouldn't be like the other van service, putting children on the lap and all that kind of stuff. That's what we did to set us apart. Okay? That's what we did. And I started that van transportation service using income tax money. Next video, you guys, I will tell you about how to find a business that has low overhead that will work into your lifestyle as being a mother, as being wives, as being students. And I will also tell you how you can actually get around paying a lot of money to start these businesses up. And you can do it out of income tax money. All right, you guys, I hope this has helped someone and inspired someone. I love you all so much. Be blessed.